What's up everybody, Andy here from Real Deal Tackle. I've been getting a lot of new products in the shop here recently, so I'm going to take a few minutes and kind of give a quick review, rundown of some of these new baits and products we've got here for you guys. Starting out here, we've got a couple new options for rigging your urchins. These are both nail weight variations, but starting out here, we got the Frico rig from Jewel Bait Company. What the Frico rig is it's a nail weight designed specifically for rigging your urchin. You can see it's got that cupped bottom there that's going to hold that ball really well. And then on the top side, when you shove it all the way through the urchin, you get that little hole in the metal where you can slide your hook point through. And that's going to kind of act like a metal O-ring, if you will. It's going to hold onto that hook really tight. You're not going to lose nearly as many baits. You won't need to do that skin hooking with the silicone bait keeper like a lot of guys were doing for a while to try to save some baits. So that's going to be a pretty cool little option there from Jewel Bait Company, the Frico rig. And then along those same lines, this one's from Queen's Tackle. This is also a nail weight for rigging an urchin, but this is a line through nail weight. So you're going to shove this up in the center of your urchin and it'll give you a hole to feed your line all the way through the center of that bait and then tie on your hook to the other side. So this is even like a step up from that Frico rig as far as bait security goes, having your line actually threaded through the center of your bait. So if a fish ever does throw that thing, it's just going to slide up the line and you're not ever going to have to worry about losing the baits with these line through nail weights from Queen Tungsten. And then next here, this one's from Z-Man. These have been out for a little while, but we just got a big stock of them in. These are those diesel minnows. This is the 5-inch. I believe we also have a couple colors of the 6-inch as well. You might recognize that chartreuse. Takahiro Omori. Dude was using that as a chatterbait trailer earlier this season. I think he actually won on Hartwell using that on his chatterbait, throwing it up in the shallows in the muddier water. These diesel minnows, a great chatterbait trailer, but they do really well just by themselves on a single jig hook. They are made out of Elastec, obviously, so they're going to last a long time, whichever way you do decide to rig them. And continuing on with that swim bait pattern, we got the new line through swim baits from G-Crack. This is the 6-inch crackdowns. Really good looking swim baits here from G-Crack. We just got them in 2 colors right now. We got that albino pearl and then that kind of electric shad, really realistic looking color there. But you can see these swim baits do have the option. You can either rig them with that top hook, that straight shank jig hook, or you can actually run your line through the bottom there and tie onto that treble on the bottom, kind of like your traditional mag draft style swim bait. So kind of similar to that Z-Man Swag LT where you can have the top or bottom hook rigging options. The G-Crack does offer both of those as well, but what's really cool about the crackdowns is the material. It's a blend of elastomer and that signature SAF material that G-Crack's really known for. That super stinky material, you know, if you've ever took a whiff of like a bellows gill or any of their other baits. The scent on these things is absolutely crazy, but they are blended with elastomer, meaning they're going to be more buoyant, more stretchy, give it a little better action, and obviously they're going to be a lot more durable. You're going to get a ton of fish catches out of these things before you have to worry about any ripping or tearing. So really quality looking swim baits here from G-Crack. Definitely one you're going to want to try out here soon. And then also in that same swim bait family, we got the Micro Boss from Clutch. That's a little smaller glide bait there. It's 5.5 inches and 1.25 ounces. So it's roughly the same size as that Spro little guy. Clutch Swim Bait Company, they're top tier when it comes to making glide baits. All their stuff is made out of resin. It's hand poured, handmade, custom painted, all top of the line quality components. So they are a little more on the pricey side, but as far as glide bait quality goes, this really is about as good as you're going to get. The action on these things pretty much speaks for itself. You really do start to notice a difference when you go from that ABS plastic into these resin glides. Not only are they more durable, but they just maintain a better action and a better posture in the water. So like on a plastic glide, you might notice a little bit of a head roll or wobble when you chop that thing side to side. Whereas this resin glide, when you chop it side to side, it's going to maintain a lot more upright posture when it kicks out to each side and just give a lot more natural presentation. So if you've never tried a resin glide before, this Micro Boss would be the perfect one to start. This is their smallest and their cheapest in their lineup. This thing's 5.5 inches, 1.25 ounces. So you can throw this on just your standard jig rod and you don't need designated swim bait gear, but this thing still has a really great action and some really good drawing power. Definitely one to check out. And then next up here, we got a brand new JDM minnow style bait. This is from Engine. It's called the Like 5. These are just a super realistic minnow style bait. They actually come in 2 different models. This one here is made out of elastomer and they have another model just made out of straight up salt infused plastic. So 2 different styles, kind of depending on 2 different ways you might want to fish it, or obviously that elastomer is going to be a lot more durable and last a lot longer. But the like 5s are really standing out to me just because they have a really realistic look as far as the profile and the color patterns they got available. This is definitely one of the most realistic looking minnow baits on the market right now. So it is a little higher in price point, but definitely one to try out if you got a tournament coming up or something, and you got pressured fish on your lake or whatever, and you're looking to get a couple more bites. Definitely want to try out the super realistic like 5 from Engine Baits. And then next up here from Big Bite Baits, we got that flat tube. You might have seen it's been all over social media lately. This is essentially just a new take on an old bait. I believe this was designed by Fletcher Shyrock. So he just took the original style tube, flattened it out, and what that does is it takes that circular gliding motion on the way down that the tube's known for, and it just amplifies it and exaggerates it. So that flat side is just going to make it glide even more, give it an even bigger circle on the way down. So it seems like they just took a tried and true bait and went ahead and made it even better. This one's definitely going to be a bite getter. You're going to want to pick you up a couple packs of those. So another one we got here from Keitech, it looks pretty interesting. This is the Rumblade jig. This is like Keitech's take on a chatterbait, but what makes this Rumblade different is the design you can see there on the front, the way that wire guard comes up through the blade really high, and it covers up your hook point. So what that does is it makes this thing super weedless. I've actually seen videos where you can reel this thing straight through laydowns and bump it over logs, areas where we all know your traditional chatterbait doesn't do very well. So when I first saw this thing, I was a little hesitant, like, I don't know about that. But then I saw a couple videos of how easily it was coming through laydowns over logs and rocks, and I was like, okay, that might actually be a player. I'm gonna have to pick up a couple of those and try them out. So definitely one not to sleep on there, the new Rumblade jig from Keitech. And then last year, but not least, we got a new spinning reel from Shimano. This is called the Nexave. What this is a very budget-friendly spinning reel. It kind of comes right in the middle between their very base model. You've probably seen it at Walmart and stuff, which is the Sienna. It comes in at like 40 bucks. And then the step up from that was the Sedona that come in right around 90 bucks or so. So what they did is they made a model right in the middle with the Nexave coming in at $62.99. So this is a pretty quality reel for the price. It's definitely a step up from that Sienna. More along the lines, it feels a lot more closer to that Sedona in terms of the quality, the way it feels in the hand, the weight, all that stuff. It's got that super smooth Shimano drag system that we all know and love. So overall, pretty solid reel for 60 bucks. Definitely one to check out if you're in the market for a budget-friendly spinning reel setup. But yeah, there you have it, guys. So you can see we got several new products in here recently at Real Deal. So if you are interested to check out any of these new products, you can go over to our website, realdealtackle.com. And right at the top there, one of the first things you're going to see, we have a what's new section. So you can scroll through sideways and it'll show you all the newest stocked items into our inventory. Appreciate you watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, drop us a like. Or if you want to stay up to date on all the newest products and trends as they hit the market, subscribe to our channel and we'll talk to you soon.